Welcome to the Timber Ranch Deluxe. You all fell in love with the original Timber Ranch home, but this one takes it up to a whole new level. We've added over 1,000 square feet to this home and also up the budget. There are so many bells and whistles, you're gonna love this tour. Key changes that we'll get into on today's tour. This home sits alongside a beautiful lake, which invites itself to having a walkout finished basement. And of course, with all the recreation around this area, it's just naturally fitting to have an auxiliary garage for all those toys. This home is also flipped. These floor plans are ultra custom. Every single detail can be modified to create your own custom plan. One of the most notable differences in the layout is the relocation of the main stair. This allows for a spacious dining room table that seats 10 and then great overflow to the kitchen island. This large island opens up the space. Not only is it great because of course it provides that extra seating, but when you're working at the island, you can see all of your guests. With 10-foot wall heights and cathedral ceilings, there's such great volume to this space, which is ultimately defined by the mortise and tenon timber trusses above us. This truss defines the kitchen space, and then we're defining the dining space, and the remainder is defining the gathering space. This is just a wonderful overflow, bringing everyone together. We can overlook the lake on this side, and on the entry side of the home, there are windows in that upper gable, allowing us to see the beautiful skies and the trees towering above. Let's get oriented with this space. We've got the front entry coming off the covered porch, a great mudroom drop zone area over there. As you walk into this area, you are overwhelmed by the incredible timber trusses, but you're naturally invited into the kitchen. We have this oversized island, which is accenting the perimeter cabinets with its painted finish. These are inset cabinets. Now we see that oftentimes throughout the rest of this home. Inset are a very custom and designer aesthetic. So take a look at this. These are extra special. Rather than two separate cabinets, these were built together for one large cabinet with different doors and drawers within the space. This is a chef's kitchen with a 48-inch range, a custom metal hood. This is impressive. Now, there is also a lot to consider beyond what you see at first glance. Take a look at this pullout. So when you're working at the range, it's convenient to have knives, ladles, and all of these spices below easily at hand. Also with great symmetry on this side, we have a tray divider. It keeps getting better. We've all got those KitchenAid mixers that we're bringing from the pantry into the kitchen. They're heavy, they're a bit clunky, tough to store. Take a look at this. This stand pulls it up for easy access. Of course, if you're using it quickly, you can just leave it there. It's also easy to put on the countertop. It just easily stores away. And what a great place for storing that. Come around the island, this is extra deep. Take a look at this drawer stack. This is cool for a couple of reasons. First of all, we've got 5-piece drawer fronts, and then the top is a slab. It's a great designer accent in this kitchen. Speaking of accents, have you noticed those pulls? A fork, a spoon, a knife. Well, where's the knife drawer? It's right here. That's pretty brilliant. Now, just over here is the coffee prep area. We've got the pull-out microwave, prep sink, of course, coffee maker available to us, and take a look at the wall cabinets. It is just so great when you have the opportunity to light up a space like this and display items that are important to you and the family. The back of this island features storage, and while we're looking at the kitchen from this view, take a look at that symmetry, all right? So we've got the refrigerator on the left and a pantry on the right. It allows for that range to be perfectly centered within the space. I just love the aesthetic of cabinet appliance panels. So these cabinet panels have been applied. We've got a freezer on the left, refrigerator on the right. We've also elongated the space, elevated it up with an extra decorative area matching the height of the pantry just over here. With such great volume in this space, it makes sense to make the cabinets extra tall. Each window has a sconce above it. That is just a great accent. Of course, we've got lighting in the toe kick above the cabinets. There is lighting throughout this house. Incredible pendants above this large island. This, by the way, is a granite island. Black walnut on that impressive dining room table. You'll see other live edge wood accents throughout this home. It just goes on and on. Really nice touches that carry throughout the space. This is an awesome pantry. Take a look at these big drawers. Who doesn't love the flexibility of extra big pot and pan drawers? Now, just beyond this space, something we haven't featured before, it's an automatic door that opens. So imagine you're coming from the kitchen, whether you're bringing in groceries, you can just open it with your elbow. That's pretty cool. Let's work our way just over here. This is another way to get into the pantry. A barn door just beyond this space. And now a mega refrigerator setup. So we've got a freezer on the left, refrigerator on the right. Each of these are 3 feet wide. That's awesome. With all this countertop space, you can easily set items down and then store them away with closed cabinetry above and then open shelving, which is ultra convenient when you've got your big appliances like this. We work our way back out to the kitchen. You may have noticed that's an extra tall door. There are 8-foot doors in this home in all the large common spaces. We see that on the double barn doors over here and the front door as well. And then when we get into areas that don't quite have as much volume, we've scaled it appropriately with a normal height door. Now, while doors are normal height, they are extra thick. 1.75 inches thick on these interior doors. That's as thick as an exterior door. To me, that is a notable difference that I see when I tour homes of this caliber. Here's a subtle detail I'm sure you've already noticed. It's a carryover from that original timber ranch. It's the arch cutout above the barn door opening. That is a massive timber in this space. It ties in to the big outside corner, this 12 by 12 timber, and of course all the timber framing in this home. What a beautiful chandelier. It's perfect for this entryway. You probably haven't seen this before. This is a TV. It looks like a piece of artwork. This is absolutely incredible. It's so believable. We've got the beautiful frame around it. It isn't glossy like a traditional TV, and everything looks so realistic. I absolutely love this. What a great way to use this in the space. It doesn't draw your attention, but if you have people over to watch the game or you just want the morning news on as you're getting ready for breakfast, you can easily turn it on, and then when you're not using it, it has this beautiful ambient mode where it just blends into the background. I think a big attention grabber in this space is that backlit clock. That is impressive. What a beautiful way to decorate this incredible fireplace chase. There's beautiful quarry stone throughout the home. It's got a mixture of browns and light grays. The gray is perfect for the blend of industrial accents in this home. And of course, that brown is just naturally fitting for all the wood and timbers that we see. We have access to the outdoor recreation spaces, so an incredible deck just beyond here. We'll get to that momentarily. But before we do, we've got a very special stair. Now, recall that original timber ranch had a stair in the middle of the home. This has been relocated, access going to the finished floor level, off to the side. But this is a ranch-style home, isn't it? Where do these head to? This is brilliant. This is a way to take it to a whole new level, with being able to easily go up these stairs to get to the loft above the bedroom. Our homes naturally lend themselves to extra high ceilings, so this is a great way to utilize the space. There's even a window in here, bringing in some really great light. This is a reading nook. We've got plenty of books, a nice comfy chair, and there's even an extra bed up here as well. Plenty of space. With a property like this, there is not a bad view. which is why these windows were increased to be extra tall. This is just impressive, the amount of light brought into the space. These blinds, they are electric blinds, so they're motorized. What's really great about that is they operate on a schedule. They'll open for you automatically in the morning and close in the evening time. And beyond that, this goes a step further. There is also a switch on the wall, so we can just simply hit a button that controls that shade. I'll hit another button to get this one just over here. That's pretty convenient. You'll never lose the remote. Pairing being scheduled with the availability of a remote on the wall, that is just perfect. Now we see that throughout the home, particularly in all the bedroom spaces. We even have that in the great room and kitchen as well. Take a look at the tile work in this space. A beautiful herringbone. We also have granite countertops, another accented flooring in the tile shower. I think that's a really great idea when the bathroom isn't oversized. Rather than accenting that entire wall on the back, simply accenting the tile on the floor goes a long way as well, especially when you've got glass shower doors like that. Now over here, this is being utilized as an office space. It very easily could be a bedroom. In fact, on the floor plan, we have this noted as a bedroom because it does have a full closet over here. So this is a really nice office. This is the great thing about a ranch home. You can have vaulted ceilings on that main floor. That's a great place for, in this case, displaying the mount or even a beautiful fan like what we have above us here. Let's work our way through to the master suite. It only gets better over here. When you're thinking of a forever home, it's always great to consider that you want the master suite on the first floor. This room has another sizable loft. What I love about this is that we have that big ridge beam exposed and these huge timbers coming down to the bandboard that we have on the perimeter wall. This home has access to the deck. With the full glass on this door as well as the two large casement windows, we get plenty of natural light in this space, and then we also have easy access to the hot tub outside. That is convenient. This is what results when you intentionally design an ultra-custom home. There are sconces above the nightstands. It frees up so much space in this area. It's also really easy to turn it on and off in the evening time. Clients love the access of the master suite connected into the bedroom, of course. Imagine this door is generally left open. So of course, you want the best view of the master bathroom from this perspective. This is so beautiful. When you walk into the space, not only do we get the long view, but we also get the beautiful lighting fixtures above and that huge mirror. This is a very thoughtful way in designing your cabinetry, which would result in also a beautiful countertop cutout. The clients really wanted to accentuate this top. This is a marble top, and we've increased the depth. It's 24 inches deep here, 21 on the sides. We've got plenty of storage for drawers, and also we've got wall-mounted faucets, keeping this whole area clear, and also easy to clean. Just off to the side is the private toilet room. There are even night lights within this space. I love that there was one right outside the toilet. We've got one lighting up the path in here. So those come on when the ambient light gets dark in the room. Take a look at the lighting in here. This timber structure was inspired by what the client saw in our design center showroom. And I think that this was perfect for the space. It's great for holding the towels and also displays sentimental items. We've got an incredible walk-in shower just over here, and then also a tub that's perfect for aging in place. So take a look at this shower. There's something extra special to it. It's a steam shower. The ceiling in this shower was finished with the same tile that was used on the walls. It's finishing touches like that that make this look ultra custom. I also love that there's a window bringing in diffused light. So this is obscured glass on that window as well as this one. This one happens to have a screen because it does open as a casement. But this is great, allows for terrific privacy and also very soft light into the bathroom. A very efficient floor plan concept is being able to integrate the master bathroom into the master closet. But at Golden Eagle, we take it a step further, allowing access to the laundry room as well. It's convenient having the laundry nearby because you can easily pull that shirt out of the dryer when you're getting ready in the morning. And speaking of getting ready, take a look at this bench. This is great. It's elevated at a little bit of a higher height because it's really meant for getting socks on and getting ready in the morning. Just beyond me here, you probably noticed this ladder. This takes us up to that loft above the bedroom. And of course, we've got closet organizers behind me here, making this an ultra efficient space, which is what is important when it comes to a closet. When designing your next laundry room, consider using pedestals. This elevates the washer and dryer to a more usable height. Rather than squatting down to retrieve those clothing items, everything is at this workable height, which is also convenient for aging in place. This does eliminate the option of pulling that countertop all the way through for workable height. So instead, this has been reduced to just the normal working height, 36 inches tall. And take a look at this top. This is a Jurassic top. I've also got a really nice stainless steel sink. This is 18 gauge. This is as good as it gets. Wow, this is an awesome space. One other thing to note is if you plan to use this window often, it's far easier to reach to that window when this is a normal depth, 24 inches deep. Whereas when you're working over the washer and dryer, that pushes it out at least 30 inches. So you'd be reaching from all the way over here. So this is very efficient, perfect for these homeowners. Another key feature of the Timber Ranch is the powder room off the laundry. Very easy for the quick coming and going out of the garage just beyond us over here. And take a look at the vessel sink. It looks like a wash basin with a wall-mounted faucets above. Just love the aesthetic of this. Also with these rustic reclaimed planks that we see. Now speaking of reclaimed planks, you've got to see what was done in this mudroom. This is authentic, pulled from the homeowner's family barn. This is just absolutely beautiful. Here's imagery of what we see just beyond the view. This is a beautiful island outside of the homeowner's property. And then we've got railroad spikes. Pay attention throughout the rest of this home tour. You're gonna see oftentimes a correlation of these railroad spikes. There is sentiment behind that as well. Now, this is a great way to show you what is happening on the ceiling finish throughout this home. This is spectacular. So we call this carved nickel space early American. We've got the simulated nail markings in here, also skip planing, and such a variation of texture and color with glazing applied over it, getting caught up in those rougher edges. But while I say it's rough, everything is smooth to the touch, keeping it very easy for cleaning. Keep in mind that if you're ever designing a mudroom that's integrated into the laundry, you're gonna wanna do what was done here. Locate the shoes and coats off to the side where they're not visible from the main gathering space. We also have a coat closet right here and the garage just beyond me. Now there's something extra special about this garage. When you see it from the outside, you'll notice there are windows up there, that incredible timber truss, and there is actually a living space as well. We can sleep up to 10. Let's head up there. On that original Timber Ranch home, this was utilized as storage space, but we've converted this into living space. We brought the bathroom count up from 3.5 to 4.5 bathrooms on this home. So that's incredible. Making it even more incredible is the fact that we can sleep up to 10 in this room. There's natural light coming in from both sides of this room. We've got the lake view. We can also see guests as they arrive. And you're gonna notice a continuation of the same finishes, of course, that were used on the rest of the home. So just because this is an extra space doesn't mean that anything is done to a lesser caliber. We've got this incredible 6-inch wide hewn trim. We've also gone up to 8-inch trim on the header trim as well. And then we have scaled it down appropriately for this space with a 6-inch bandboard above that. Just beyond this view, I can see the auxiliary garage. We've got a lot of great stuff to show you over there, but before we do, we better head down to that finished lower level basement. As we make our way downstairs, we have a continuation of this natural quarry stone. It's impressive how it scales the entire height of the house. The timber treads are hand hewn like so many other materials in this home. You won't find this finish anywhere else. I also love these massive handrails that we had along the stairway, and we've brought it up to an extra tall railing height with that double top rail. It just really looks impressive, offers a craftsman aesthetic. These spindles, these are something new that we'd like to feature. These are powder coated aluminum. They've got a nice texture to them. They also accent really well with the industrial styling that we see in the home. What a terrific lounge space. So we still feel like we're a part of the rest of the home with easy access upstairs. We can also get outside from down here. We've got shuffleboard, pool, a great table for cards, but naturally we always gravitate toward the bar. Thanks to the bar seating that we have on the tiered bar top. And by the way, take a look at this walnut. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Got black granite over here on each of these slabs. And this is a full bar. We've got a refrigerator down here, a base refrigerator, a sink, a half dishwasher. This is perfect for bar items like this where you don't need to load the full dishwasher. Got some terrific accent lighting right up here. I've seen stuff similar to this. I know it was inspired by that Timberlake home that we had toured in the past. This is great execution of a very similar concept. This back bar is an attention grabber. Of course, it helps that there is all the lighting in here and the incredible memorabilia, but it also serves the purpose of function as well. So we can store large appliances right behind here, whether it's a pizza maker or in this case, we got the microwave hidden right below there. And then also extra storage, easily accessible. We've got plenty of that in these base cabinets as well. We've continued with the same style and finish that was upstairs in the primary kitchen space. So I think that's a great intentional decision to carry those finishes through. And take a look at what's on the back side of the island. We've got the same quarry stone that we saw throughout the rest of the home. And there is even a railroad tie down here that makes for a great footstool. What a great accent. And it ties into those railroad spikes that we saw throughout the rest of the home. Just behind me over here, this is cool. You're gonna love this. We've got a chilled wine cellar. This is a temperature controlled room. Ah, it feels good in here. This is a great way to display your wine. We've got beautiful uplighting and indirect lighting above the trim at the top of the ceiling. Of course, the continuation of that quarry stone once again, that is a great detail in this space. Something that's important for a room like this when it's temperature control is that there's a threshold at the bottom of the door with weather stripping around it. Now here is a great thing that I like to see on our homes is the use of log material, wood siding on the interior walls. So this is just used exclusively in this area. We don't see this throughout the rest of the home. I think it makes a terrific accent. This is a preview of what we'll see as we walk around the exterior. Now take a look at this railing. You would think it's reserved for lofts and of course staircases, but this is a terrific way to divide off the rest of the theater. Our eye continues to overflow the space, but it's a terrific separator. There is tiered seating in this theater, so we've got to be intentional about planning out the depth of the room. Want to make sure that there's ample walkway, but also room for when these seats recline. These are all electronic, so you can control them with a remote. That is pretty neat. So just around the corner is a craft room. Now this is a flex space. It easily could be a bedroom as well because we do have an egress window. This is why it is so great to build a brand new home. You can dedicate spaces for your interests. Everything is labeled, easily accessible. This is perfect. This bedroom has a king-size bed, plenty of room, a big closet, and check out the view. Well, I can see the lake from here. It helps that we're on a peninsula. I think it's just cool to have those boulders out there as that little bit of a retaining wall. I love having big windows like this in the basement because to say basement just doesn't seem right. You feel like you're upstairs. Now let's head to the other room over here. This is currently being used as a workout room. It easily could be a bedroom as well. What a cool space. I love the rubber flooring. You know, that's just really neat. It shows just the finishing touches that we have throughout our homes. Take a look at the baseboard here. You know, I didn't highlight on this earlier, but we don't assume ordinary sized material. This is really cool, that hewn finish, 8 inches tall. It's about 1.5 inches thick. That's pretty great. Now in the bathroom, I want to point out something that was actually in all of the bathrooms. It's a humidity sensor. So this humidity sensor will turn on once the humidity rises to a certain point, and then it'll automatically turn off. You never have to even think about pressing the button to turn on the fan. It's important to consider having a bathtub in the house, great for grandchildren, but it doesn't have to be a big fiberglass shower unit. We can still tile the rest of the wall. It looks great, a nice designer finish. And then rather than tiling the ceiling, carrying the ceiling finish all the way through makes the room feel even bigger. It elongates the space like the herringbone below. This Four Seasons room is contained from the rest of the basement. Now that is perfect because we've got this huge curtain wall. It opens the entire space up, and the Four Seasons room all of a sudden becomes a part of the outdoor living space. But before we head out there, let's take a look at the rest of the Four Seasons room. This fan is a great idea. If there are bugs in this space, that will push the bugs out of your seating area. We also have really neat wood storage. This is super cool, and it goes all the way down to the tile. That way it's easy to sweep out and keep clean. Of course, it's right next to the wood burning fireplace unit. That TV above, of course, is very appropriate for hosting and entertaining. This hearth is just awesome. What a good accent for that quarry stone. I love how this space just overflows. Now let's consider you may not want to keep this open all the time, but you could still use it for access. So we pull this closed. It's really easy. I mean, there's a lot of weight to these doors. It's amazing that I can do that with one hand. Now everything's loose at this moment, but they get locked into place. There's a very easy latch. I just start from one end. I pull this, that's locked. I'll pull this one. This one locks as well. And take a look at this. Now I have a functioning door. So there's just such great flexibility. I think that adds a great cool factor to this space as well. So we've got the nice fire pit. Of course, we are lakeside. It is just serene out here. You can hear all the birds singing. We've got that beautiful island, which we referenced earlier. And then there's the boathouse. Just keeps getting cooler around here. Take a look at all these boulders. We've got some incredible hardscaping as well. And we're using the same materials that were used on the house. That main feature wall is topped off with a mortise and tenon timber truss. That's the same style that we had inside the home, but not nearly as large. Now don't be fooled, that is still a massive Douglas fir truss up there. And of course, we've got that fireplace chase. It doesn't just stop at the top of the deck, it continues all the way down. Looks very impressive with the way it jets out from the wall, adding more depth and dimension. If you're building along a lake, you need to consider this. You're oftentimes looking down at the view. That's why it's important to have a railing system that has minimal obstruction to it. This cable railing is perfect. Your eye passes right through it. As we make our way up to the main deck, I wanted to point out the cedar shakes in that upper gable. We've got that window that pours light into the loft above the bedroom. And then take a look at the roof overhangs. We're going from 2 feet to 3 feet. That extended rake on the overhang, that's what we call a craftsman style roof system. So follow me this way. We've got our double hewn log siding. This is a 12-inch double hewn. You're starting to see a trend of this on many of our videos. A lot of homeowners love this because you can only find it at Golden Eagle. Let's talk a little bit about home tech. So we've got Wi-Fi broadcasting all the way to the beachfront. That's of course important. And the speakers too. That's pretty cool. Now, there aren't just a few speakers around this house. If you had just 1 or 2, those have to be pretty loud to be heard throughout the property. They're strategically located so that it's never too loud. Let's say if you're dining in this space, you're not being blasted out by those who want to hear the music down below. Now, this is a very popular gathering space because we do have a wood-burning fireplace right over here. Now, this probably is something that you would think is a reclaimed timber, but it's actually molded out of concrete. That's a concrete fiberglass reinforced mold. That is awesome, and that's gonna handle the wear and tear of the harsh sun that comes down throughout the day, as well as snow that sits on top of this in the wintertime. Now this surface below, you're gonna see this in the garage spaces. This is a polyaspartic polyurea coating. A lot of people would think it's epoxy. It is, it's much stronger, much more durable. Not only can it handle the wear and tear of garage surfaces, but also the elements all year around. And there is a synthetic texture added into this. That synthetic texture will not wear off over time like a silica would. We continue on, there's a maintenance-free decking. Of course, these rails and posts, these are maintenance-free as well. We've got a continuation of those cedar shakes up in this gable. I think that is a terrific decision. When you don't have a lot of wall space between this extra large trim and these corners, a smaller material like this is very appropriate. This is a fun lake, a lot of adventure out there. We see jet skis and boats all the time. This is a great party hangout area. The deck on this home extends out to the hot tub, which is why it's important to have access to the master suite right over here. The homeowners love having the hot tub out here. There's not a lot of light pollution, so they can enjoy the stars in the evening time. And of course, with the lake, there's always something to watch. And it continues to the garage. How convenient is this? We've got this eyebrow overhang. Whenever we do these timber overhangs, I think that they are awesome, especially with the arched brackets. We've got big windows heading into the garage. And just around the corner, we can get to the auxiliary garage as well. This is a great garage because we have so much space for all these toys. With this lift over here, we're able to double the space. That is really convenient. And speaking of doubling the space, the footprint that you see right here is doubled above with a storage truss. What makes that even greater, and what I'd say a terrific decision for the homeowners, was they actually have a stair from this garage. So we can walk up there to get access to that entire area rather than having a pull down attic ladder. It was very intentional that we had as much clearance as possible in this room. It helps future-proof the space, but it also allows for the lift. That's why there are side-mounted garage door lifts. What I like about these is that they throw a deadbolt whenever they're closed. Of course, we can manually manipulate that deadbolt if we'd like. And then also hear how whisper quiet they are. I'll hit the garage door openers. I'm gonna open both of these at the same time. And they are smooth. And what's cool is when I close them, that deadbolt will automatically lock those doors. Both structures feature a roof detail that I particularly like, and that's a double fascia board. It adds another layer of dimension, a shadow to the fascia. I think that looks really good. Of course, once again, we see that extension of the rake. I love seeing at least 3 different finishes on the exterior of a home. It adds so much interest, especially when homes are this big. We've got the stone, the double hewn, and above us is a board on board. We also see the cedar shakes on the other side of the home and also in that upper gable there as well. So we can mix and match. It's great to add more variability to the palette that we see on the home. Now let's come around this way. We see another eyebrow roof, just like what we saw on the other side of the garage. It's really great that these doors tie in together because those are oversized garage doors. Those are huge. But the fact that it ties into what we have here, this is a steel garage door. You wouldn't think it. The color is so rich and there's beautiful texture to it. Just looks awesome. I also love the fact that we got the Craftsman style lights, bringing in some light into that space, and of course it looks good. Everyone loves a covered porch when you approach the entry. Not only does it keep the rain and snow off your visitors, it is also just warm and welcoming. We've got more of that maintenance-free decking. Take a look at these square live edge rails. This is something really cool that we offer at Golden Eagle, and it pairs really well with the hand hewing. Got big, massive 8x8 hand hewn posts, the length of this deck, and an 8-foot tall front door. Now something to keep in mind with your lighting fixtures, and you've probably noticed this already on the home, they're all scaled appropriately with the size of the material. If you're looking to build an incredible home like this, then give us a call. We've built over 6,000 homes throughout the United States and Canada since 1966. Comment below, what are your favorite ideas from today's home tour? And for more incredible home tours, click on this playlist.